Welcome back to the Her Hoop Stats podcast, recording here in the arena in Indianapolis after an amazing 2025 WNBA All-Star Game. We're here to break it down. Calvin, should we start with whether or not Team Clark should have challenged that call, or do you want to talk about how they were defending the pick and roll?
Let's break down some X's and O's. Why not?
Well, I mean, the other option, if you want to talk about Glorilla and rank the top 5 songs in your in your mind.
I got nothing. Let's go with the challenges because I actually loved that the challenges at the end of the game. I was telling you, like, that is my level of petty when you are playing a 16-point game, All-Star game, a minute left, and you challenge a call. I'm sure that annoys some people. I was very here for that type of pettiness. Yeah. I think it's funny.
Well, you can say we are in great spirits. It was an amazing night. Our esteemed producer, B-Mac, I don't know if he's going to come on and chastise us. He thinks we should start with the end, really, that pay the player sign that Slim Brittany Sykes had. One of the best, could be one of the most valuable photo bombs in history. Let's talk a little bit about that. They came out. It was like super energizing to see them in those shooting shirts. Pay us what you owe us, right? Period.
Yeah.
Some people were wanting to emphasize that period that's on the shirt. Currently available on Breaking Tees. I know I posted that on Blue Sky. And then, they made their message clear, both with that sign and Napheesa and Brianna Stewart's comments.
Yeah, and when Kathy Engelbert started talking and took the mic to award the MVP, the whole arena started chanting, "Pay them, pay them." And so it felt like a whole theme of the night from the beginning with the warm-up shirts, like you said, to the end and the MVP trophy presentation and the whole deal. Everything was centered around the players,
not the payers,
the players making their message clear, like you said, pay us what you owe us. And Napheesa was very clear, when she was being interviewed as well. Like, we have a bunch of strong women, and we are going to advocate for what we're worth. And obviously, they've had some CBA meetings this week, so that's been kind of at the forefront, and I love to see it.
Yeah, and not only that, I think everybody in this crowd loved to see it. I mean, obviously, they're kind of, preaching to the choir if you're here paying your money to watch this game. But I do think it was probably an interesting message to the owners that they had anticipated hearing that kind of reception. It's one thing for the players to wear the shirts, it's another thing for the crowd to spontaneously kind of come up with that chant. I wonder if we're going to start to hear more of that during the second half of the regular season,
I hope so.
The playoffs. I don't know how clearly that came through if you were watching on television. If you did, I'd love to have you kind of let us know in the comments or respond to when we're posting this on socials so that we can get a better sense of it if we were watching from home. But yeah, I think though that it also, to me, encapsulated the night, which was like this crowd was just so energizing from jump. For me, it really made it like the most enjoyable All-Star game I've been to over my time covering the W.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel. I'd love to hear your thoughts as someone who's been to All-Star games in between. But for me, as someone who hasn't been since 2022, and so 3 years isn't that long, but in the span of WNBA growth, it's like a lifetime. It's so different from 3 years ago in terms of where the league is at. And for me, it was amazing to see like how big of an event this was, how big of a weekend it was, and like you said, how into it the crowd was, and just everything go down the line, in terms of the comparisons to 2022. I had fun in 2022, but it was night and day this year.
Yeah, no, event was really the word that was kind of in the back of my mind as I was watching this game. This really felt like an event, more so really than any other WNBA All-Star game, certainly. And really like on par with Final Fours that I've been to as well. And if not, perhaps more so because, obviously the stakes are not as high as like a national championship game. Not as many people, I'm sure, watched that 18 million that watched that game. But the crowd was like incredibly into it, and it just felt, just for the moment from the intros, I know you were a little thrown off by all the dancing. I was super excited. I'm old enough to remember Shaq and the Jabberwockies. Apparently you are not. coming out. I think it was 2011. I saw All Star. That's an iconic NBA All Star moment, and it felt like we got a little slice of that. I mean, that was all we were missing from the intros. I thought was Shaq kind of jumping out there with them. It was incredible, and I'm not usually the kind of person that's into that sort of thing. But tonight it had me amped up. Usually, I mean, I think I told you off air yesterday. Like I thought the 3-point contest was going to be the highlight of the weekend on the basketball court in these seats. But and I don't know that there was a real super iconic play tonight or anything that's going to go on the highlight reels. But I was much more into this game than I have been. I don't know how much of that's on me and how much of that's on the game itself. But I mean, Indy just did it up, and you even heard that like NECA was talking about it, and yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, well, if you had to choose an iconic play, I mean, you could talk about Paige starting off the scoring with a 4-pointer. You could talk about Fee breaking the single game scoring record on the same play that Skylar broke the All Star assist record.
And we're back. A little bit of a logistics change. I guess they upgraded our seats. We're now sitting down on the floor level, maybe like 20, 30 feet from the post game shows. Shout out to ESPN crew and LaChina is over there on NBC as well. So I think before we got a little distracted by the efficient security of Cambridge Fieldhouse, we were talking about how there were some fun moments, but it wasn't really any clutch moments since it wasn't a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges were like the funnest thing that happened in the last couple minutes of the game to me because we weren't going to get like a buzzer beater or anything like that, but kept me engaged for sure.
Yeah, like I said, the crowd, because it felt like an event, even though it was a blowout, like I wasn't like losing and paying. I was paying attention. I was able to stay much more kind of locked in than I have in years past. Like I said, just really overall felt like an event. I know we're repeating ourselves since it's been a few minutes since we said it before, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now, here's one idea that could have made it stay a little closer. Let's start with what was your opinion on the 4-point shot tonight?
I enjoy the 4-point shot. I told you this yesterday. We've had it for a few years. I think it should be a line. I understand that they do it because it's a logo. It's the AT&T logo, so it's like a marketing money thing. And they did like the little AT&T like sound jingle thing every time someone
I
hit one,
love that
which
actually.
is
I
cool.
think AT&T should be sponsoring that every game all
Yeah,
season, not just here.
well,
Because a
I don't
lot
know
of
about.
arenas play that. They play that effect, right? They've got little sound effects when people hit a three.
I'm cool with them sponsoring something and doing the sound effect. I don't know about adding 4-point shots to the real
Oh,
basketball,
no, that's what I meant.
but
The sounder.
I mean, if they want to sponsor threes, all for it. But
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I get it's a logo, but I think it should be a line because I think it's weird when you have a player that's like at the top of the key, for example, and they're like very clearly far enough away for a 4-pointer, but it's not worth 4 because they're not on the spot. So they have to like sidestep or like swing the ball, whatever. Like it should just be you're far enough away, you get 4 points. I don't know how you do that and still do the logo thing for the marketing thing, but
Yeah,
from a basketball standpoint.
you absolutely convinced me. I saw many people taking shots from that distance right tonight, but they were not on circle, so it was still a three.
Yeah, it was just weird.
And we were also laughing. I posted on Blue Sky during the game that I think it's the Minnesota Lynx are. That shot is 28 feet was the rules today. The Minnesota Lynx are 11 for 25 for the season, 44% from 27 to 32 feet. So basically, that distance. It's a shot that's really, the way the game's evolved, like not as uncommon as it seemed even when I remember the first time. I think it was the first time they introduced it a few years ago. So I like it. I think they should have a band actually, right? I think then that gives them the room to do the white and the blue kind of thing and make it still look sort of like AT&T. And then what I said to you yesterday, you can see it today, there was the actual AT&T logo with the text. You probably saw it on TV, right? All those things are stickers, which is kind of interesting. But like, I think they should make that a 5-point shot, so they could have like a band from the 3-pointer to the 4, and then like behind there, it's a 5-point if you're kind of behind that.
Why not make half court 6 points? Why not make
I
opposite 3-point line 7 points? Let's keep going.
I think the opposite AT&T. If you had shot it not from the closer AT&T logos, but the far AT&T logos, like a 3-quarter shot, it should be 8 points, like twice as valuable.
Let's
as
do it.
Pointer.
Sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah, all kinds of rule changes. Did you think the free throw rule's an abomination or not?
How, you mean the fact that they don't shoot free throws
Yeah,
until the end of the game? I don't know. I don't mind it. I mean, it
well,
keeps the game flowing. Like
yeah, that's funny.
I would never actually want that in a real game, but like with an all-star game, you're not trying to have a ton of stoppages
No.
all game. You know, like at the end of the game, whatever. But yeah, I don't mind it at all.
You're not going to advocate for free flowing substitutions either on offense, like we saw tonight.
No, that one I think is weird. I don't think it like adds anything excitement wise. And I was telling you, it's like weirdly hard to execute because you get to do one, so it's not like a hockey sub where it's kind of like a hockey sub, but it's not like where you do the whole line change. You get one, got to be on offense, obviously, and you have to like get your teammates' attention like while the game is happening, and then like quickly come on for them. So like if your teammate is in the opposite corner, like it's not happening. You're not gonna get in for them in like the live flow of the game, especially because every offensive possession in an All-Star game is like 7 seconds. Like by the time you get their attention, like someone shot the ball, you're on defense again. So like it actually was like weirdly hard to execute. Obviously they did some of them, but I don't know. It didn't really like add anything for me.
Yeah, no, I know. It's I remember. Oh yeah, I think it was maybe 2019 WNBA All-Star. They did it. It was kind of fun then because it was more novel. Now I don't know. I did appreciate though your attention to detail. That you were studying that and like how one could take advantage of the rules. You also noted we get the box scores here on Press Road. You were like puzzling over where they were accounting for the 4-point shots.
Yeah, the math doesn't really like
math's
line up
not mathing
for me. No, I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the great mysteries of the WNBA. So yeah, I thought that was it was interesting. I do enjoy the 4-pointer, but I think they could make it move better. It would be nice to make that line a little more thing. I had a couple of fun questions I wanted to ask you. Well, first of all, we should shout out everybody that bet the over tonight. Yeah, I real proud. It's a real honor to witness history with you. I've never seen a basketball game this high scoring before in my life. I don't think in person.
No,
So,
NBA. Oh, you haven't been in person. I see.
yeah. No, I mean it's infinitely higher scoring than like a 48-minute NBA game. And
Oh,
I have
NBA
not
All
been to
Star. I would
I've not been
assume.
to an NBA All-Star
Oh,
game.
there you go. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I thought that was cool. One question I wanted to ask you: which celebrity that they showed on the jumbotron would you have wanted to sit next to tonight on courtside?
That's a good question. I would probably have to say Dawn. I'll go Dawn Staley.
Yeah, I mean, she clearly would be up there. For me, I think Leslie Jones.
Okay.
I think it would be
Okay.
very enjoyable
Yeah.
to sit next to Leslie Jones. I would say there were a lot more, even more star power than usual.
Yeah.
So
Cool
and
to see.
probably the biggest cheers tonight were for Indiana local hero Tyrese Halliburton.
I
And they
think so.
showed him late, but it was
I
like
think so.
honestly, again, like it was not that much louder
I mean,
than
catching's got quite
yeah,
a bit.
they did a great job. I was saying to the crowd, like they were cheering for everybody. Started at the beginning with like
Yeah.
Eric. They showed Erica Wheeler on the jumbotron, and like they were cheering for everybody. I think Indy really represented them well. There's a lot
Yeah.
of discourse about Indy, but these fans celebrated the game, right? Kelsey Mitchell Wright spoke at the
Yeah.
beginning and talked about celebrating everybody. You could see like NECA was kind of thanking everybody for how Indy did it right. I think that's true both at an organizational level, but also really the fans. I think that it was a very positive experience for everybody.
Yeah. It did feel. I agree 100%. It did feel like the energy in the building did not feel like it matched the like social media Indiana energy. So
Yeah,
shout out to them.
shout out to them for sure. Also, I want to make sure we take a moment to shout out Red Panda, who couldn't be here tonight. That was disappointing. That definitely
Red Panda, get
for
better.
someone. Yeah, hopefully next year we'll see her. That would be great. Part of her comeback
Yeah,
tour.
but
She could be the
Arissa,
Kelly.
what was her last name? Kelly did a phenomenal job. I thought she was excellent.
Yeah, super impressive entertainment. She, the gymnast, I don't know how much of that they showed on TV, but definitely making a name for herself. I mean, I'm kind of old school. Red Panda just kind of makes that
Your Red
makes it
Panda
feel like
bust?
yeah. But Christian Scooby also very good. Have you ever seen them? The
I
dog,
have,
the
I have,
Scooby.
yeah.
So I enjoyed them as well. So again, I kind of like my classics that I'm comfortable with. I'm not new age, right? Arissa is a little younger, so she's newer
I
on the
got
circuit,
you.
appeals to the younger folk. For me, I like it the way I'm seeing it. Yeah, there are lots of great people here. Bam Adebayo is here. I'm not
As he should
surprised.
be.
Yeah, Pau Gasol. I met someone that you know and that I know was very excited to meet Pau Gasol in person. I'd forgotten that he's an investor, so that's part of why he's here. But they definitely love showing him. And Robin Roberts also a little closer to my generation than yours, so that was cool to see her. I would be great to kind of have a chance to actually speak with her. So I definitely enjoyed that. Yeah. So, I mean, one other thing we were talking about, sort of the NBA. I was saying, what is your the ratings? I'm guessing you don't. Do you have a prediction for how many people tuned in tonight this weekend?
No clue. I don't even have any type of context on this.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier that you're sure it wasn't the 20 million. Was that
Yeah.
what did
No,
the
no, I
what
did
did
know
that
that.
national
No, I
championship
knew.
game?
No,
I'm gonna go under that, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
short of that, I
So
got nothing.
last year, the game had, I believe, 3.39 million viewers. I think this is all
Okay.
according to John
I think we
Lewis's
can go over
Sport
that
Media Watch.
then.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to go over that. I think there's a chance for four. And interestingly, the NBA, the natural comparison everybody likes to make is the NBA All-Star Game. All-Star Saturday, that's, people have been complaining about it. If you're aware of that discourse over the years, I think this might have been the year for the NBA All-Star Game. So this year, All-Star Saturday night, I guess that's probably the right comp to an All-Star Game on Saturday night, and 3.39 million viewers. So I think it's quite possible that on the Saturday night of All-Star Weekend, we're gonna have more people watch the W than the NBA. So that's pretty powerful, and that's a very important event for the rights fees, right? That the leagues get and the revenue. So it fits all in with the CBA talk. For everybody kind of complaining about all the folks on social media that don't like seeing the messages about paying us what you owe us and how much money the W should be able to generate. Like, they're doing quite well with this marquee event. So I'm going to go. I don't know that I think it will quite get to four because that's a pretty big jump and people knew Caitlin Clark wasn't playing tonight. But I mean, they've still been putting up great numbers without Caitlin Clark this season. I think that's a positive message the league is actually kind of missing, could promote even more how well. Like, yes, sure, Caitlin Clark helps ratings, but it's everybody. And so I bet it's going to be even higher this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Next year, if they do it in Las Vegas, would that excite you? Or are you like, come on, they've been doing Vegas too much?
They have been doing Vegas quite a bit. What would that be? The fourth year in the last 6 or
Something
7
like
or
that,
something like that. I would love to personally see one of the new cities.
Yes.
You could, Golden State, Portland, Toronto next year. One of those. I don't know if that's going to happen, but for me, I think that would be a really exciting way to kind of like celebrate the growth of the league and to welcome those cities into the league is to bring All-Star and Golden State in particular. Valhalla shows up. They have sold out every game. They're on pace to break an attendance record in the league. So that place would absolutely show up for an All-Star game there.
Yeah, and I got to say, the way the CBA is going, and the fact that everybody's a free agent, and the impression I think they must be making on everyone, I think they could sign a few All-Stars. Who, if they were the host city,
I
they'd
think
have
2026 champion Golden State Valkyries is very much on the table.
plus 200, plus 300.
It's right there.
Okay, you might need to make a market on that.
I'm going to put that onto the internet right now on this podcast.
They should start posting it. That would be amazing.
A real shot.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to All-Star last year. I will say I got to ask a question of Commissioner Engelbert, Kathy Engelbert, at the press conference. She liked it because I was talking a little bit. I think we talked about it yesterday, right? Sort of ways to enhance Friday night. And she was super excited to get this question. So I think it's an easy talking point for her. But I specifically brought up the idea of a rookie sophomore game, and she sounded excited about it in the moment. I'm sure that obviously I'm not the only person that thought about it. I talked to a few people during the day that were also wondering this, but I really hope that they recognize that they could do more, and I think they do. And we didn't get an announcement on where it's going to be, but that certainly the scuttlebutt is there's a very good chance it'll be Vegas. So we'll see. I'm not booking any flights or anything, but we'll see what happens. Cool, great. I think that's pretty much everything, and we don't need to go too long on a All-Star Saturday night. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope they'll follow us, all season, the rest of the season. Do you have anything you're looking? So you're going home. You're going to recover.
recovery day for sure.
I can only imagine how much recovery the folks on the floor are going to need. Everybody that was in town. Kind of, what are you looking forward to? What do you got your eye on ahead of the remainder of the regular season?
Oh, well, as long as we're talking about the Golden State Valkyries, how about whether they're going to make playoffs or not? Because I think that's very live as well right now. And I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but I saw a stat the other day that the only major sport expansion team in the last so many years, I want to say it was like 50 years, to make the playoffs was the Vegas Golden Knights in the NHL when they made the Stanley Cup run a few years ago.
That's NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, WNBA.
I believe
Anything
so.
else
I
on
believe
that
so.
list?
Someone in the comments can fact check me on this because I don't have the details, but it was something like that. And
One in 50 years.
it was pretty close to that. So Golden State Valkyries have a chance to make some serious history, and that's what I'm watching for in the second half.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm watching. There's some interesting matchups that have not happened yet because of the
Liberty
vagaries
Lynx.
of the. Yeah, exactly.
Those are the
So
big
I'm
ones.
excited to see Liberty Lynx. When's I forget when the first time they are playing. 'Cause it's not
in
Tuesday,
like
but it's in a week or so,
week and
right?
a half. It's before the end of July. I want to say 29th, 28th,
Yeah.
30th.
Oh, that would be like. Oh no, not next weekend. Yeah, maybe it'll be a big like Tuesday night game. So we should have prepped for that one. I apologize, but yeah. So I think there's a lot of interesting matchups we're going to see. I'm excited also to see how, obviously the people tuning in to hear us, see us on YouTube are, presumably the diehards. I'm excited to find out how much this event kind of reaches the people that haven't really watched the W much, and whether this is going to kind of carry over to kind of more interest over the rest of the season. We're kind of getting into the thick of the regular season, and then the playoffs. Playoffs are going to be very compelling, and so I'm excited to see where kind of league can go this season in terms of kind of broader interest across the U.S. and in Toronto and Canada.
Yeah, let's go. I'm with you 100%.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think that's a good mantra. Let's go. Thanks, everybody. We're gonna, as Christy would say, we're gonna head out of here. I forget how she says it, but stay tuned all next week. We're gonna have lots of commentary on the All-Star game from some of our more seasoned podcasters, at least than me, and and a lot of great analysis. So follow us on Apple Podcasts. 5-star rating, YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't, either free or paid. And of course, if you can subscribe to hurriedfast.com, that really helps support us and enable us to do things like cover these events in person. So thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend if you're listening on a late Saturday night. Or
make sure
Sunday.
you buy some laptop stickers.
We don't have too many. We don't have our full background here, green screen stuff. We don't have an AI generated animation behind us, but maybe next year.
I knew you'd like that plug.
Thanks so much, everybody. See you soon. Bye bye.